What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with yet one more video, but a very special guest. Tiffany, say what up.
Hello, friends.
Well, welcome. So we got a good one for you guys today. So I have not seen this video. Tiff is not very familiar at all with alpha male strategies, right?
Right.
Yeah, she's not familiar with so, but you said something very interesting to me today that I felt like it'd be good to review this video. You were talking about how, you know, generally when you talk about relationships, it's just with your girlfriends.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I really don't, have a lot of male friends, so it was hard for me to kind of like maneuver in this space of relationships for a long time because all I had was my aunts, my mom, my female friends to kind of bounce off of, and we're not really making much progress. So I'm real. Like, I'm gonna need some help from my male friends.
Right.
See what's up.
Yeah, it's it speaks to like your circle, like right. The people who challenge you are gonna be your closest in your network, but if everyone has the same type of thinking, there's not diversity in that thinking to kind of challenge like
Absolutely.
Things that happen. So I think this will be a good conversation.
Okay.
So we'll see where we'll go with it. You ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
There it is. So this video is entitled "Why Alpha Males Get Married and Who Gets the Girl."
Okay.
All right. So without further ado,
let's do this.
Let's get right in it.
What's up, fellas? So I had a loyal patron supporter wanted to know why alpha males get married. All right, and I thought this was a good question because as a lot of you guys know, I got all type of guys who follow me. All right, it ain't just a bunch of red pill guys over here trying to build rotations. I got guys over here that's married. I got guys over here that's in relationships. I got guys over here just trying to maintain a girl's interest in a relationship. I got guys dating. I got guys trying to build rotation. So I'm trying to be well-rounded. So I gave this some thought and I came up with some good answers for this. All right. Number one, why I think a guy with alpha male would want to have get married. Number one, by and large, would be legacy, guys. All right, it's in our nature to want to pass on our genes. All right, and before all the surrogate mother guys come over here, well, you can just get a surrogate mother. Listen, ain't nobody trying to grow up and get a kid by no goddamn surrogate mother. All right, how would you feel if your mother was a goddamn surrogate mother? Basically a paid whore to have kids. All right, guys. So ain't too many guys out here want to have surrogate mothers. All right?
Yeah. So let's.
He just went for the jugular, blood spewing everywhere.
The blood is spewing. So he gives straight no chaser advice. Just FYI.
I see. Wow.
Yeah. And also too, so he talks about the different people that watch his videos, but he generally just gives like dating advice.
Okay.
Like dating, like not how to get in a relationship. So just FYI as we go into this video, but yeah, straight no chaser stuff.
Okay, continue.
All right, you want to have a woman that you're in a relationship with or married or whatever the case may be, and personally have a kid by somebody that you somewhat care about. All right, if it goes bad, you goes bad, but a lot of guys ain't out here trying to have a kid by some goddamn surrogate mother. Some woman who's walking around getting paid to have fucking kids. How would you feel if your mother was a surrogate mother? You look at your mama and say, "Mama, you was paid some money to have a kid by a guy." How that make you feel? All right, nobody wants to have a surrogate mother. All right, so number one to me.
Do you understand what he's saying? Like surrogate mother?
Yeah, I mean, he's still.
That's like child support, right? That's what he's saying.
Okay, I mean, but that whole. I guess I'm a little lost with it.
What? Okay.
Dive into it for me because I'm.
Well, I think that I think what he's saying, and this is it was kind of confusing to me too as he was talking. Like, what does he mean by surrogate mothers? But I think he's talking about women who maybe didn't have an intention on staying in a relationship with the dude and gets the child support. and you know.
Oh,
so
that's like a whole nother.
yeah. But I feel like it's a terrible thing that could happen, and I know situations like this that have happened.
Actually knows a couple of people.
Yeah, but usually, from my experience, the woman wanted to do it in order to lock the dude down, and thinking as if it was a way to. But then, you know, now that he is not locked down, you know, she's gonna take that child support and raise a, you know, a young man or boy, you know, in a one-parent household, which, you know, statistics and studies show are gonna, you know, lead to more at-risk, you know, behavior in that person, in that child. But I 100% agree with why alpha male gets married is for legacy as well, right? Because you get to build you know, that family structure, that family dynamic, and instill yourself into that younger person to, like, you know, live on this earth and, you know, pursue your ideals and you know, what you taught them forward. So I don't know, do you agree with at least that premise that he's?
I do. Yeah, there's one thing though. I've always wanted to know this though. You know, I'm not trying to put our ages out there, but you know, we're in our 30s, and I've noticed that a lot of men in general tend to want to get married later, and we have all these, you know, young black professional females that are bosses, and we are just out here. Where they at? Trying to look for some alpha male, you know.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? I'm sorry,
No, I think it's a good question, but I think that's just, you know, that's why you see so many women that try to date older, is because they, you know, looking for more of a dude who's, you know, more serious about potentially thinking through, you know, putting legacy, like creating a legacy. When you're between 20 and 30, you know, there's not one of these 22, 30-year-olds that think about legacy.
Yeah.
But there are dudes that want to get relationships, want to get married. But I think what underpins that, what AMS is trying to say is, like, those dudes are not alphas because they are doing it for the wrong reasons. They're not doing it for legacy. Like, they're doing it because there's an R&B song that they heard in the late 80s that told them to do it. Right.
Freak me, baby.
All of that. All of that.
I know.
And instead of, like, on your 20s, between your 20th and 30th birthday, you're working on and to be intentional about your purpose.
Things, yes.
You know, what are you going to be when you grow up?
Right.
Not a couch potato, not playing video games every day. Like, you use your time very intentionally.
Right.
And you're working on your craft, you're working on your education, so you can make yourself and your community better than it was when you left it. Okay. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of that, you have these dudes that, you know, that want to, you know, give a portion of their soul away too early, in my opinion. But
too many times.
Hey, all right, you want to keep going?
Yes, let's keep going.
All right.
It would be legacy. Number two, to me, is, and I'm just going about why I would think I'm never getting married. You know, I might get a relationship, but, you know, marriage ain't never happened. But I'm just going by what I would think would happen to me to make me want to get in a relationship. Found a unicorn. All right. So if you think you found a girl, your nose wide open, that you can put fucking baseballs up in them, and you thinking you found a unicorn, then this will be a reason. And why a guy would think that he's found a unicorn that's an alpha male is because y'all guys got to understand that some women are better actors than others. All right. For all you red pill brothers out there, one of these days you're gonna run into a girl, man. Her acting is on par with the Oscars. All right, and she's gonna be down with you. And
what's up?
Wow, my cousin and I were literally just talking about this, and I mean, I can only speak for myself, and I do have friends that are very good at reeling them in, bringing them in, and not necessarily just being authentic and truly themselves. Like, what's your true intentions? And we were actually talking about this. How about people just be completely honest about what they really want?
But they're scared of themselves.
Exactly. Well, then you need to do some self-searching and some soul searching. And I mean, but that's the thing that I think a lot of people need to do. We need to kind of step back, and we're always in a rush to, like, I got to be in a relationship, or I need to have somebody there with me at all times, and not really doing that soul searching and work yourself before you get into a relationship with somebody else or a situationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we have this cycle that continues of hurt people hurting people.
Right.
Just because you have this, we're just dating, we're just seeing each other. It's a situation. It's complicated. Like, no. Take a step back before you get into that next situation.
Yeah. Well, I think that loneliness is a real emotion that has to be addressed here. Like, people don't like being lonely. They don't like to sit with themselves, by themselves. I was an only child, so I was used to being lonely a lot, and I got really good at being lonely. And like, I'm an extrovert, but I have very introvert tendencies, right? So I like my space when I have my space, and I can just go and sift away. And usually I'm working in that time. I'm not just laying on the couch watching TV. But I do think that there's some people that are kind of scared to look at themselves because they don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. So they're often searching for happiness outside, and other people. And it's like, well, how can you find a best version of another person if you're not the best version of yourself?
Exactly. No, that is absolutely real. I couldn't have said it any better.
You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's do it.
She's gonna cook for you, and she's gonna suck your dick, and she's gonna be feminine. Some women can put up that mask for a very long time, a year or two. Some women, it's not a whole bunch of women, but it's some women that can carry that mask for a very long time. All right, and so if you run into a woman that can act like she's wifey material for a very long time, that she's different, she's cooking. Quite frankly, man, if you want to be a unicorn these days, women, all you got to do is fucking cook for a man and shut the fuck up. All right? And be feminine.
That's all. That's it. That's a unicorn. We don't require nothing else.
All you got to know is how
Am I lying?
to freaking cook.
I was just
Cook. Just cook. Yeah.
Don't say nothing.
Just like, leave me alone.
You're not supposed to challenge nobody. You're not supposed to help a brother out. You just want to.
That's table stakes.
watching those YouTube videos.
Really?
That's table stakes for a healthy relationship. Like, yeah, you got to be able to expand their mind, but like, that should be everybody. The unicorn stuff, to me, that's actually, no, let me backtrack a little bit, because you can't.
Yes, please backtrack.
Let me backtrack a little bit, because I'm acting like it's table stakes, but no, if you find someone that can also challenge your horizons, right, can like look at your situation and can help from a different perspective, and help coach you through something that a diverse perspective, which can be hard to hear.
True.
That's
real.
It should be table stakes, but for me, it's table stakes. Come in the camera, so you all are.
Oh, sorry.
For me, it's table stakes, and it's what I consider, like, if I'm looking at the opposite sex, like, can she, like, if I come home from a long day of work, like, and I start talking about my situation, is she really listening, and can give me some constructive feedback on, like, what that is, like, if that's what the conversation's about, like. But that unicorn stuff, you won't believe the amount of women nowadays that don't fall into that line. Like, even if they do cook, right, and if they do challenge you in conversation, then they could have like a petty side to them, right? Like, they can want to start arguments out of nowhere.
Everybody's trying to find this perfect person out here.
But I think from a man's perspective, it's way less complicated than what society has dictated to us. It's way less complicated. Yes,
men, you all are very simple, very more realistic than women are. We go off of our emotions all the time. It's kind of a roller coaster. We can't help it.
Listen,
there's 1,000 thoughts that go through. We are like doing 50 things at once.
Right.
And y'all just focus on this one thing.
Yeah, so then look, but then you're proving it. But you're talking about it. That's the unicorn. We understand that y'all go through all of this, like, and you're coming up with full stories to situations when I'm not picking up my phone. We know that you do that. True. So the unicorn is the one that can act like she's not crazy for the length of time that you with them.
I mean, there's got to be red flags out there, y'all.
No, there is, but there's some that are way better of covering up.
They've been doing it for a long time.
They're good actors and actresses. Good actresses.
But that's not me. I try to just come with it.
You come with it authentically?
I try to. Sometimes it's hard because we've grown up in this society where you have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way. This is trending, so you know this is in. This is what people are looking for.
Yeah.
So you try to change it up. When you know, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm really trying to just kind of let go, let flow, and if it manifests into something beautiful, then that's what it is, and not being so rigid.
Yeah.
And or trying to be somebody's unicorn and everything. And oh, I like that too. Yes, I do that as well.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, and that, to me, that comes across as desperation.
Yes.
If you find someone that's a little bit too, agreeable.
Right.
And I feel like as a dude, you just have to be very objective with the information that is thrown at you, and to not become somewhat emotional if if she's a baddie, like if she's a 10 out of 10 aesthetically, and you're ignoring her intellect, like that's a red flag. Like you need to check
what
yourself.
What are you really looking for?
Right, you need to check yourself.
Right.
You know, but maybe you a millionaire, you just looking for a trophy. My thing is, don't marry him if that's what you're looking for. Like if you feel like a trophy's gonna sit well in your life, then do your thing, homie. But don't be caught up and then not get a prenup and like all of this other BS. So would you consider yourself a unicorn?
Unicorn. Wow. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I'm Tiffany. I'm only me. There's only one. So I'm coming at it like that. Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic answer.
Sorry.
I think that's it. You be authentic to you. You know, and I think that the confidence within that is powerful, because there's so many people that are trying to be other people.
Right.
Like, we get caught up in these terms and these definitions, like, oh, are you an alpha male?
Right.
Or are you a beta male? Are you a unicorn? Are you special? Are you unique? Yes. No, just be you. You know, and you is going to be different from someone else. But I think that the confidence within that is something that we've lost sight of as well. I appreciate it, even though you may not like the words that are coming out of his mouth, but I appreciate like an AMS and the knowledge that he tries to distill. Like some of it's sleazeball stuff, like, and he prefaces his videos and saying like,
but he's creating conversation.
Yeah,
he's talking about,
like he says, like it's true evil what he's about to say, but he's creating these conversations, and he's more right than wrong. Like, so like
as much as I don't want to hear some of that.
Yeah. Well, but
going in, but
but it's a diverse topic. Like we started off this video with saying, like, if you can get into this environment where your network feeds your ideologies,
right?
And this happens on YouTube too. And I've talked about this before. This is how you get like flat earthers or anti-vaxxers, because they click on one video and then they're suggested 5 other flat earth videos or anti-vax videos, and they get in this kind of rabbit hole that all of a sudden their life is consumed with this one idea of like that the earth is flat.
Sorry, that was funny.
I'm angry. You want to watch a little bit more?
Yeah, we can do a little bit more. Yeah, sure.
To be a unicorn today, you ain't got to be all that fucking great. All you got to do is be feminine and cook a steak every now and then. It's not like you got to goddamn set the world on fire. Women are so trash these days and don't bring shit to the table but a fucking vagina that anything out of the ordinary, hell, if you cook a...
What's up?
Whoa! All we bring to the table is vagina? Who is he dealing with? Who came in his life?
Welcome to the red pill.
Welcome to the red pill.
Damn. I think there's so much more that we bring, especially black women. Come on.
Let's talk. Let me ask you a question before we talk about that. When he says feminine women, what does that mean to you?
Maybe he's talking about somebody that is light and dainty and that does all the things that feminine women do: cook, clean, those, I don't know, they dress a certain way, they look a certain way. I don't
do you identify with what he's saying? Like, do you think
I'm a straight up tomboy, so I don't, I don't have, and my cousin tells me all this all the time, like, you need to kind of like do your hair, wear makeup, wear, clothes that are a little bit more fitting. And I'm like, do I have to do that in order to get somebody's attention? To get an alpha male's attention? Like, what?
You know, I think that there's things that you can do to, like, you know, flow with a societal or cultural norm, which can make you more attractive to the opposite sex. But I also think when he talks about femininity, like, what you don't want is a woman to feel like she has to take control of a man, or like change a man, or like, you know, we talked about earlier about being the head of a household.
Right,
like, if the woman feels like she has to be the head of a household, right? Like, that's a more of a masculine trait.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No. I think for me, I personally would want somebody to lead the household. Like, I do my share. I think it's more of a teamwork makes the dream work kind of mantra. Like, I love that idea. You know, I'm in my space and you're in your space, and you know, you take lead. I do. That's what I personally like. And is that what he's saying, is having that role, that feminine role too? Yeah,
that's what I think about when he says a more of a feminine woman. There might be components that he's referring to that's like, you know, do your makeup and all of that. I don't know. That doesn't matter to me as much as when I don't want to be argued with. I don't want drama. I don't want, you know, like all of this other aggressive women stuff. Like, I had a situation yesterday and someone's coming to come do a video and I'm not really that cool with her. And I had to check her for the way that she was responding to me. And I felt like it wouldn't have been a good discussion if I had her on, because like, it would be confirming all of the things that, you know, dudes that watch AMS's videos hate about women.
Oh gosh.
Right. So like, and I had to check her, and you know, just calmly like say, you know, I don't think we should do this video anymore. And it is because of her harsh and aggressive tone, because I wasn't on her time. I set a time. She was 15 minutes early. She decided to have an attitude, and I had to check her, right? Like, and say, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. She is a masculine woman, and I think that we're losing sight of the benefits of having the man a head of household, or an understand. And it's not saying that women need to fold and not be strong, but it's like biologically, if we're the logical thinkers, we'll get you on a shortened out path. 1 + 1 will always equal 2, no matter what. Then why are we having these conversations where you're trying to emasculate me for one reason or another, right? Like, I'm all for women's empowerment. I believe in feminism, but not like the destructive feminism. Like, yeah, let's be equal. Let's bring equal pay up. Let's do those things, but not the destructive feminism, which is trying to emasculate men, or try to be the head of household. Because I think when you get to that level, that's when society breaks down. That's how you get these killers of Nipsey Hussle. That's how you get this destructive feat. Like, it takes conversations like this to bubble these things up.
I agree with you. And again, my cousin and I were talking about this right before we came in, and you know, I feel like it's hard because a lot of these masculine women came from single parent homes, and they were told, okay, and they all have all their aunties, their female friends. I don't know. It's like you have to. We were always pushed to. I feel like I was raised differently than my brothers. Like, you got to be independent. You got to do this. You have to do that. You have to be multitask at all times, and sometimes you have to take over the situation. And unfortunately, because that's how people were raised, and that's been their everyday approach, that's kind of how they come off sometimes. I don't know what the best answer is to fix that, because that's just been ingrained in us. That's something that you gotta like kind of compromise on some things. Like, if she was coming at you so harsh, maybe it's like, wait a minute, let me take a step back. Let me kind of be more empathetic. And I think that's what is missing with a lot of women. I mean, that maybe have that masculine energy. And for me, I think that's where I have more of a feminine energy. Because I I'm a nurse by trade, so I'm caring. I'm thinking of others. I'm always putting somebody else before myself. But I also think there needs to be a balance too, and that's why I say that teamwork makes the dream work kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You have that masculine energy and you have that female energy that comes into play, and if you balance it out, you can move mountains.
You can move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you get it.
I'm starting to. I thought he was talking about hair and nails. I'm sorry.
I don't care about that. I don't care about all these
this
fake.
Is what
I
Let me draw my. Hold on, wait. Did I get it right?
I feel you. There was another point we were going to talk on too. I forgot. We doubled back after feminism.
I know. That was a lot.
That was a lot though.
Man, that was. I really like that. See, this is why we do need to have more of these conversations, because like I said, I'm always talking to my female friends about it, my mom all the time. Ladies, I know you talk to your mom all the time. If that's, whoever it is, there's always a female person in your life that is just constantly, we're going back and forth about the same thing. And we need to have those other discussions. And sometimes they're a little hard and uncomfortable.
Right.
And I think maybe compromising on some things, being a little bit more empathetic with some situations, kind of scaling back, and kind of check yourself a little bit before you interact with other people.
That's super real. You touched on something that I wanted to double back to again. Like, you said that a lot of these more masculine women come from single parent homes. Do you think...
I don't know. I'm just kind of going off of what I've...
Like from your experience.
Yes, from my experience.
Your anecdotal experience.
Yes.
We don't have facts.
No facts.
It's anecdotal experience.
Sorry, go ahead.
I appreciate you clarifying that. Yeah. But do you think that it's self-defense mechanism, that a woman would be more masculine?
Yeah,
because they're taught to be strong, and this is us. It's me and your mom. Like, we have to be. So then they feel like they have to posture up in situations, and they're insecure in their femininity because they've had to put their masculinity on the forefront to be strong within the community.
Oh yeah, because if you're too sensitive, people are going to walk all over you. They're going to take advantage of you. I feel like as long as you have that balance of the two, you're going to be fine. You're going to be able to do whatever you want to do. I mean, you can really move and shake a lot of people. Whether you get more, flies with honey than with vinegar. What's that?
I know. Yeah, I can't remember it, but I know it's
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
That vinegar, I didn't like that vinegar yesterday, which is why I killed the situation. And I could have tried to smooth it over, I guess. But I just decided, no, I don't want that energy in my space. And I am a curator of my space. Always and forever, right? And I think that, as men too, we should all be curators of our space, because the energy that you give off is probably indicative of the energy that you have around you, right? Like, we're tribal people. We are biologically packs. We've biologically.
That's real.
So we feed off of other people, and if you have these negative energy people around you, all of a sudden your responses to different situations can be curtailed by that. And I just think, and being curators of our space, you have to be very intentional about who you keep around you.
That's real. So I have a question for you. Are you going to be able to ever interact with this person again, or will you interact with this person again? Maybe if you give off a different...
So
because we're gonna have these people, these negative people that we interact with.
It's a good question. I think that if I was apologized to, I could have that conversation, and we could still be acquaintances. But if that doesn't happen, then that person will never be in my friend, acquaintance group ever again. And because I think that it's, again, I have to be and I don't have time. So within my purpose and the things that I'm doing, and you see, I'm always working. I'm always going 100 miles an hour, and I can't let these anchors slow me down. I can't. I have to move. If you look at Kevin Hart, for example, or The Rock, and you go on and you see how much they're just full speed ahead. You think that they're dealing with drama with people? No. They are. They might be dealing with drama in the media and trying to fix their persona, like Kevin Hart. But at the same time, in his immediate circle, his circle group, it's nothing but dope people that support and that they give support to. I think that for healing, you know, it's a conversation that can be had.
I think that's where I'm going with.
Okay, to help mature in that situation.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah,
I understand you have to protect your space and your energy.
I have to be selfish with my space and my energy.
You do,
like we all
absolutely.
do.
From a more healing space, like when you're interacting with that person again or somebody like that. You know, I was always told to kind of like, if somebody's coming at you,
yeah,
you know, if you're nice and polite, they're only going to do this for so long because then they're going to be the ones that look stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's all.
No, and that's a good point. Like, you know, just that whole someone who's trying to emotionally throw you off your center. Like, when I had that conversation, it was just, okay, yeah, we're not going to do this video now. And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. There wasn't like there wasn't any.
Sorry,
of that.
I didn't know. I don't know anything about it, but just you know.
Yeah, there wasn't any of that. Like I can't, you know, let anyone throw me off my center. But I feel like at the same time, if you identify an energy sucker within your acquaintance group or your friends group, you have to move mountains to get them out. Because they're doing nothing but anchor you down.
Right.
Like they, you know, because it takes time to heal a person. Everyone can be healed to a degree, you know, unless they're so radically set in their ways. But don't put the onus on you to do that healing. Yes. Because you got to work on yourself first. When you have time to get after you are clear and purposeful of who you are, maybe you can go back and, you know, help fix different situations. But it takes so much time.
Right.
These famous people that you know are known for, you know, we could take Kevin Hart again. It took so much time for Kevin Hart to be Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous amount of time. It's a constant grind, a constant hustle that you guys might take for granted. All you see is him up on stage and laugh at his jokes and then think, oh man, he's a good comic. But the years, I remember seeing Kevin Hart on campus when I went to school for my undergrad. This is, 2005? 14 years ago, he did a not packed audience at my school. He don't do school shows no more. And like, you know, and he was super funny. And I was like, man, this guy can be a star. And I think he was blowing up at the time, but like to see that Kevin Hart versus the box office draw today, like so much passion and purpose within that I think is, you know, that drive, that effort, that being intentional about your effort and your drive is just something that we don't, you know, we need to do more of.
That's real. I agree with what you're saying.
All right, let's just go on for like one more component of this video. You know, we're just over here just blabbing. We're over here just blabbing. Let's just go. One more.
Okay.
Some chicken wings on Sunday, you wifey material. All right. So that's the thing with that, guys, is that you meet a woman that knows how to act like she's from the fucking 80s or 70s when women actually knew how to keep a fucking man. All right. That's the next one. All right, the next one after that would be not naturally born an alpha male. All right, guys, if you're like me and you were a beta male that transformed into an alpha male, well, that means that you're always liable to relapse to being a beta male. All right, that means that you're not a full thoroughbred alpha male. That means your environment made you an alpha male. That means that you just saw the way shit was and you said, oh no, that ain't gonna be me right there. And you became an alpha male that fucked these hoes to sleep and tossed them to the side of the road, but that's not your natural state. Your natural state is you want a girlfriend, all right? Natural alpha males are just naturally guys who just want to fuck everything that's moving and keep it moving, all right? If you
I don't even know.
Thoughts?
Oh my goodness.
Alpha male is someone who wants to and keeps it moving. Yeah, we can say that. How do you feel about that? Is that what you're feeling is what an alpha male is?
No, I feel like an alpha male, once he gets to that level, because that's the top right there. I feel like they are confident where they are in their space. They've maybe achieved what they want in their careers, and they're ready for their partners. Or if they're in that whole I'm just trying to do me, I think that's a beta male, but that's just.
So you think it's a beta male for someone who you know, kind of has a laundry list of women just for sex?
just for the physical purposes. Like, I feel like, you know, biologically, I think we were put on this earth to procreate and have that interaction. And if you just out here just boom, 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 I mean, what are you really doing? I feel like you're somewhat empty inside, and you're trying to fill a void for something. That's not an alpha male. That, at least what I think an alpha male would be like.
Listen, I think it's a good perspective, and I go back and forth on this one, especially like down in my comments. And I think that, you know, his AMS, like, it's alpha male strategy. He's a dating coach. He's teaching men how to do that, how to like get all of these women, and he's teaching. He's not going into it in this video,
okay.
But he teaches you like how to do it. And a lot of stuff that he says is very true. So I think his definition of an alpha male is specific to getting a lot of women.
Okay.
So he doesn't really, at least in the videos that I've seen, a lot of my subscribers are probably more versed on AMS's content. You know, I define it a bit differently and more holistically. I think that if you have time to go and, you know, mess with all of these women's heads, in order to, you know, get what you want.
Get that one thing.
Yeah, get it. I don't think that that's healthy either.
No.
I think what's healthy is, again, stop looking for outward, you know, ways to gratify things within your life. And it's like, you know, what are the inward things that you can do to raise yourself up to a level? I mean, he talks about that as well. He talks about being on your purpose, having an abundance mindset, like the negatives of having a scarcity mindset. He talks about like all those things in the pursuit of being able to get the women that you currently can't get. But this definition of being an alpha male is someone that can fuck everything. Like, I don't know, because I've seen a lot of dudes that can do all of that, but they sick.
Right.
They're sick in their mind.
Yes. Yeah.
And they got insecurity issues out the ass, like, and you can just tell. And they throw, and they could get women, like, maybe they're super tall, muscle, and they could get women, but they throw it out.
That's on the list, you know, the height. And what else did we say, Ryan? We said a couple of things.
Income. Yeah, that's a big one.
It's just there's so many things, and we kind of.
Well, but that's all real stuff,
That
because when you guys are looking for security, you're looking for someone who can fight a rabid dog off in the street, so that the height is correlated. You're looking for someone that can provide a stable roof over your head as you rear children. You know what I mean? Like, there's some biological reasons for all of that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's real.
Yeah. So you do look for that. Let's be honest there. Let's keep it funky.
I don't want the ones that is just jumping from bed to bed. Let me just.
Well, but let's challenge that for a quick second. You know, so yes, that there's sick, you know, people who would define themselves as alpha male that can jump from bed to bed, but there's insecurities within that. But then also too, a dude that can get a lot of women. Generally, there's something.
They're more appealing.
They're more appealing. They're 6'2",
yes,
200 something pounds. You know, low 200s, in shape. You know what I mean? Take care of themselves. Have a dope job, dope career. Like, those are the ones that has the pick of the litter. I mean, we talked about before, like, you know, as a black woman, like, it's hard to find a black dude, but those black dudes that you're looking for have the entire world at their disposal.
Damn. He right.
Yeah, and a lot of what y'all do too.
I hate to say that.
Yeah, a lot of what y'all do too is put yourselves within. I can only have a black man box.
But that's what we like. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Meanwhile, we over here conquering the world.
But
the world.
I mean, I just wish that I don't know. Sisters, we have so much to offer, and I just hate that it's like, because we have this long laundry list of things that we want in a guy, that we're being a little bit too unrealistic.
Well, let's talk.
But it's not really working all the time, though.
Yeah, the unrealistic component, I think, definitely sets your guys back to be the underdogs. But let's talk about that offer, right? Because, and I think this is what I think this is what we're going to circle back to.
Oh yeah, I think.
Right. So, like, what do women offer men?
Yeah, right. You know.
Can I ask a question?
What?
What's up? You want to help out? You want to phone a friend? Come on.
Oh my gosh! Like,
what do women offer men is the question. Let's be real about.
Like I said before, that feminine energy, that support system, that love. Like, you know,
do we need that?
Yes. Ryan, you were talking about this
Ryan,
all the time. You.
This is Ryan. This is our cousin.
He's back. He was telling me that. That men are challenged all the time, every day, especially black men. People are coming at y'all every day from every angle.
But an alpha man can handle all of that. Am I tripping?
And I mean, men challenge each other every day. It's just that's something we do. We either are dominating each other and winning over each other, or we're losing to each other. That's just you know, a lot of women don't know that. You know, they think I can do it all like a man. I can be like a man. But they've never had their opinion challenged. They've never had their, I won't say never, but, you know.
I was going to say.
So there are some cases, but, you know, men are constantly sizing each other up by who's stronger, who's smarter, and who's weaker. And that's just what we do. We're either winners or losers, you know.
But, I mean, can you honestly say that you wouldn't want, like, a strong woman by your side as alpha male?
A feminine woman is strong.
Feminine women are strong, yeah.
Okay,
and they can enhance.
Yes.
But the likelihood of enhance in today's society is ever more smaller than before.
Yes.
And it's the Tatiana songs. It's all of that stuff. You got to come a little focused a little bit more.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
We've come up with this concept that a feminine woman is a weak woman. And that's not the case.
That's real. No, we do have.
We've twisted. We're ass backwards into believing that. So now we have a population of women, regardless of race, who think that they are. I've had ex-girlfriends, you know, think that because acting feminine was weak. It's like, no, that is not the case. History has shown you that men will climb mountains for a feminine lady. You know.
Will alpha males do that?
Alpha men especially, you know.
Really?
Yes. And when you
we were just saying, so what does a feminine woman offer? And it was like,
but an alpha male doesn't want to come back with a
right. We do not.
Right, like
we already fight with men every day.
Right, yeah, like what we would want is a rib, right? Like I don't want two heads a household. I want a head and a rib.
No, I get that. I'm not trying to be bumping every single time, but yeah. I get what you're saying. A lot of women out here now, that's kind of where they have that strong masculine undertone that they kind of can't get rid of. It's like it's there, it's embedded in them. But what are some other things that you guys?
Listen, no, I see what you're doing here. Let's bring it. Ryan, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But like I gotta hold on. I gotta ask the question real quick.
Step out or?
Yeah. Just one more second. Just one more second.
Oh no, you put me on the spot.
Let's. What do women offer men?
I feel like we offer a lot.
Look, yeah.
I gotta elaborate.
So I want to elaborate because I want to challenge this idea that somehow we need you.
Like I said before, I'm talking about that balance of space. You have an alpha male that has this strong masculine energy, and you need somebody to balance that out. I feel like, you know, if you have a feminine woman who is supportive, who is loving, you don't get all that. Like, just be sensitive, be open, be vulnerable. Like, we're letting down some of those bricks that you guys have built up because you got to be this strong, like, I can do this, I can take down everybody and their mama, you know, type of mentality. I mean, I think that's one of the things that I think that you would need in.
I think it's a nice to have. It's not a need to have.
It's a nice thing to have, but not need.
I think a need though is potentially what is between your leg. I think that's
don't.
I think that's.
They ganging up on me.
But
ladies in the comments, please help a sister out because this is crazy.
No, but I think it's not. We're not ganging up. We're just challenging the idea.
Right.
But I think that it's something to focus on because, you know, as you're looking for a strong black dude. Mm-hmm. Right, like I think that it's inherent in media today that for somehow we like need a woman to be complete. And I think that I've been in the space that I am complete on my goddamn own. And I'm gonna live out this life how I want to live. And there's nothing that anyone can do to change the way that I think about information that's passed to me. Because I'm gonna accept it, think about it, and say, no, that's bullshit, or no, that's actually true. And I think that like men are fed this, you are not complete until there's a union of some sort. And we get so far away of like focusing on our purpose, our community, right? Like building up other strong men, right? And then relying on a woman to be able to do that. Like, I don't know, like, does any of this make sense, or is this completely different than what you've ever heard of ever?
It's really different, because the only other person that's asked me that was my cousin Ryan. Like, we don't
Shout out to Ryan.
We don't really talk about that. Like I said, amongst my female friends and my aunts, it's like, what can you offer someone? Yes, I've listed a couple of things, and usually that's what most of us would say. But I mean, I feel like do you want to be alone? Like, you feel, I mean, do you want to be by yourself, kind of thing? Like, because the alpha males, they're like, well, what can you offer me? What can you bring to the table? Like, it's like a business transaction. Like, why can't it just be like two souls coming together and just enjoying one another, and like not necessarily completing one another? You both should be complete individually, but I mean, to be able to build up on something, like, I don't know. I'm trying to articulate it.
No, I think you're doing a very good job for a question that you maybe not thought of about.
No, I haven't. Like I said, he's the only other person that has asked me that, and I feel like I need to do some homework and write some stuff down. Y'all can talk about me all you want to, but that's a hard one. Like, it's like, what can I offer? There are so many, like, maybe materialistic things, or not materialistic things, but like my career or my status, or, you know, maybe how I look, those different things. But like core stuff, like what can I really offer? Like, I do need to kind of readdress that, but you know.
No, and I appreciate your response. I think it's a very authentic response to questioning what media has fed us.
Yes, because I don't want to give you those fed answers, like,
no, and I appreciate,
you know,
because this is authentic.
I really, yeah, honestly, I'm just being real, y'all. Big question mark over here. I'm gonna work on that, because I do think that's something that's great. We're having these conversations that we don't typically have, and this is a great space. So absolutely, I can't wait to like actually watch this and then see what the comments like, for real.
No, we'll see what's gonna happen. But listen, I'm not gonna go through his video anymore. I think we've had a fantastic. This is your first time doing it, like,
man, I was like, ooh,
a round of applause, All right, well, and Ryan, thank you for stopping through real quick. Appreciate you, brother. You know what I mean? But listen, it's been your video. I am your host. Mediocre tutorials and reviews. Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Man, I don't know. This was so dope. I really like the space. It made me a little nervous sometimes.
Yeah, she kind of didn't want to do it.
I was like, no, what am I? But this was fun. This was really, I loved it.
Thank you.
More stuff like this is awesome.
I'm super down. Like, I love the platform to be able to produce like really authentic conversations of things that, like, it's difficult to challenge and question these things. Like, it's easy to just accept what someone tells you as fact.
The norm.
You know, it's easy to do that. But I think that, you know, as we, you know, push the culture forward, it's like, let's challenge. If we're saying media controls it, well, social media is our own media.
Yes.
YouTube is our own media.
Yeah.
Like, and we can start a dialogue that's not paid for by these advertisers on 6 o'clock news.
Real.
Like, we don't have to do that. We can just do it right here with us. And push it forward, right? And that's like really the goal of this channel, is to push the culture forward. So
yes, you should like do like facilitate like a big group. We were talking about this before, like having a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls in there.
No, it's coming. I already got it figured out. Like, I got to figure it out. Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
So stay tuned. I want to invite you back for that, because we got to have these group conversations. I feel like it's good for the two of us, but then if we get it, you know, more people, and then put a certain topic and go forward with it. So stay tuned for that content as well. I got to figure it out. I just got to. it's a lot of money to like to have this quality and different cameras and the setting, the lighting. It's a lot of things behind the scenes. So keep on supporting the video, like, share, comment, all of that stuff to get it in front of more people, so I can kind of get that stuff going. I appreciate your support. All right, till next time.
Bye.
Peace.